Okay, so today is the day we pull out the old tank, put in the new tank. David's here to help me. He's got the string trimmer, cutting the grass down so we don't have to lay in the tall grass. Shouldn't be a big deal, but you never know. Where are we gonna cut?
You asking me?
Yeah.
As close as we can to the tank for starters is to get the tank out of here. And then
Probably can just pick those up out of that tank. Or maybe not.
yeah, it's pretty rigid.
And then
I don't know.
okay, I'm going to get the Sawzall, right?
Yeah.
Tool of choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
My Sawzall is missing the foot, and I kind of forgot about this. You can't like push it against the piece you're cutting like most Sawzalls, because the little collet that holds the blade just hammers into the thing you're trying to cut, and kind of forgot about that. Didn't tell Dave. Once we had it figured out, our cuts were not quite as I don't know, crazy as this first cut.
So the bathtub drain is 1.25 inches, so it's just stuck down in there. It'll come off.
Okay.
This is the sink drain. You might want to cut it like way back here. Give us some room to work.
And why aren't we just reusing it?
Reason what?
What's there?
Because the new tank's too tall.
Oh, it won't fit under this?
I don't think so. It might.
You want to leave it for a minute just to make sure?
You can, but I got a couple on, so it'll be easy enough to stick it back.
Okay. Now we'll just do a straight cut right here.
Yeah, why is it grabbing so much?
I don't know. Hopefully just because this one had weight on it.
I don't know.
It looks like a good blade.
Okay, give it a shot. Oh. What? It doesn't have a foot. So if you push this tight, this bangs on the pipe.
Oh.
There's no foot to hold it away. So you gotta manually kind of hold it away.
That's better.
A little better, huh? Yeah, you gotta hold it away. There you go. Alright, that's done. So I just pulled the pump off and we are draining a little bit of obnoxious stuff. I could actually pick it up, huh? Quit.
Oh, well, there you go. I don't want to spray all that down with water, but then we're just going to make a bunch of mud for us to work in.
Yep, so now I need to get to hoe and kind of level this out. It's pretty level already, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me go get the hoe. What you doing?
Killing a wasp.
Oh.
It is pretty level. Looks like it's sloping towards us a little, though.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. Oh, yeah, yeah. What's your goal here?
Kept it flat so that we don't crack the bottom. Not level, but flat. All right, well, we got it all raked down, but let's slide the tank under there and see what happens. We can take the top off or leave it on. Close up.
Violated me.
Ow, sharp. Okay, how far do we want to go?
Further.
Moss? Don't matter me.
Well, our plumbing's gotta die into it, so. How many of these looking guys do you have?
I got a bunch.
Okay.
I got a bunch.
And the pump's gonna be where? On one of these?
Yeah.
So it's gonna stick out.
Yeah. So the pump could probably go right there. So we could probably scoot that way a little bit. There we go. 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 There But I can cut this too.
Yeah, I can get under there. You can go, what, another 6-8 inches?
Push it with a board or
Back it
something.
a little more?
Yeah, toward the road. I got a fitting inside here too. We got to get out.
Okay.
A little more. That's good. I think that's good.
Towards me or no?
I think that's. I go too far. Ow! I got a Sharpie right there. Yeah, I got it. Okay, that's good.
All right.
See if I can find that fitting.
Oh, I don't see it. What's it look like?
It's just a white PVC. It's a hose adapter.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Working with Dave on this project has made me realize how old and decrepit I'm becoming. Just seeing him scamper around underneath that teeny house and just thinking of how awful it would have been if I would have had to do it. It's a reality check. Yeah, I'm not a spring chicken anymore.
So we salvaged the P-trap coming from the kitchen, and we're going to separate the sink and the bathtub and make 2 drains. So David is fitting and marking. Did you mark it already?
Not this one. We need a 7-inch piece.
We need a 7-inch piece.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me cut it, and we'll put it in place. He's marking them. Then we're going to take the top out and drill the holes out here.
You can get.
Okay, so that's the 3rd one. You want the Sharpie, so you'll mark it.
Yep.
Thank you, Ruby. Say hi to the camera.
Does this pipe look plumb?
Perfect.
Is it?
Perfect. Mm.
You're just saying that because you're in a hurry?
Ruby gave me a donut. No, it looks right.
All right. Let me make sure my other ones are still where they're supposed to be. Oh, yeah.
Now we need to do the 4-inch.
And
David is marking the 4-inch hole. The hole for the 4-inch. And we're going to tie the vent to that. What do you call that thing? Cross T?
crusty.
Cross T. Crusty. Not like to be confused with Krusty the Clown. Okay. Okay, so all 4 of our holes are marked, and we can drag the top out and drill them and drill a hole for the float. Did you see the float?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put it in your little closet.
You poke through.
What?
Okay. You wanted to do it from the back. That doesn't look bad. See how it's faded from the sun?
Yeah.
It's epoxy paint. It doesn't deal well with the sun.
Huh. Your plywood's not rotten.
No, plywood looks great. So shocked. Usually when you take a hatch out of an old boat, you can like bet money that it's gonna be rotten on the inside. Okay, David is installing this foam sticky weather stripping so that hopefully there'll be no odors coming out from between the top of the tank and the tank. There is a lot, huh? I'll either screw it down tighter or I'll caulk it. Not sure.
Well, neat.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Hey, ready?
That's it. Okay, mine's down.
So the top fits pretty securely over the little lip. It kind of locks in place. But then we put that foam weather stripping under it to seal it from odors. And that foam weather stripping, which was like 1/8 of an inch on the roll, expanded to like 5/8 of an inch thick. So it really actually lifted the top up. And at the end of this video, I was thinking that top wasn't fitting, but it's fitting. It's just sitting on the foam. So I don't know whether I want to try to pull it down tight or just leave it be, because there's no odors. Or so far, there's no odors. I think we're okay.
That was something.
Put it over here so they can slap me in the face.
All right.
All right, you want some pipe?
Yep. Let's do this one first.
That's
Just a 90 and a stick and some glue.
All right. Okay, we are putting the first piece back in with glue, so this is permanent. Don't get all YouTube professional on me now. Just put the stuff together.
Come on now.
We don't have any quality control here. Dripping on my new epoxy paint. All right, first one in. 3 more to go. Is that drop piece glued? Because it's crooked as a dog's leg.
No.
Okay.
The cross T?
No, below it. The straight one going into it.
No.
Okay. Carnage, just pieces, parts we weren't able to reuse. Since David was here helping me, it's a whole lot neater than it was. We did get rid, no. We put separate P-traps for the sink, which is here, and the tub, which is there. And the kitchen had a P-trap up front, so we didn't need that one. And I'm getting ready to fish the float wire into position. See if we can adjust it to make it work. Nothing will be hooked up to it yet, but I'd rather mess with it while the tank's still clean. We've got some issues. This hose is too big for this, but it was on there before, so I'm not sure about that. And the hose adapter I have here is too small for this hose, so I got to get another one. But in the meantime, I'm going to turn it on, see what happens. I don't even know if I have enough water in here to flow. Okay, nothing exciting happened. Now, the fact that I got a valve there is nice, because before I did not have a valve. If something would have gone wrong with the pump, it would have been nasty. All right, I'm gonna hook up the pump, see if it'll come on. Okay, with except for the fact that I need to get the new fitting there to make it less Yankee, although it's kind of holding its own. We're done with this project. Thank you, Dave.
No problem.
Couldn't have done it without you, or couldn't have done it as well without you.
I think you need
Pulling the top down because it's kind of warped. I don't think it's down all the way. I think I'm just gonna go buy some little cheapo Harbor Freight C-clamps and put 6 of them around the perimeter. It's got holes, but the holes are on the outside of the bottom flange, so I would have to make some kind of weird washer deal. It's just not worth it. I'll just go buy some C-clamps.
So the float switch is hanging through the top by a compression fitting, so we can adjust it, the height of it later on. We've had a long dry spell, and I don't have I don't feel like wasting 60 gallons of water to fill up the tank to adjust the float switch right now. So we'll do it at another time, and it's not going to be hooked up to anything anyway. So it's in there. I won't have to fish the cable through the dirty tank. It's in there and it's safe. We just might have to raise or lower it a little bit to make it work correctly.
Put this little overhang over the kitchen window. It's white steel. Came from Coach's backyard with all this crap that I brought home. It keeps some of the sun out and it lets us open the window when it's raining. So this was an easy project and positive all the way around. And the summer sun has been hammering us on the porch. I'm gonna have to do something for next summer, but for now I'll put up this little overhang, which does help a little bit. And this is green and it's aluminum, and this is also from Coach's backyard. 1 10-foot piece cut into 5 2-foot pieces, and yeah, it helps a little. It'll help a lot with the rain too, because this end of the porch used to get real wet when it rained. The other end never. I don't know what that's about.
Coach was an elderly guy down the street that passed away, and he was a little bit of a construction materials hoarder. So the family got a dumpster and put it out front, and I helped them drag a lot of stuff and put it in a dumpster, but some of it didn't make it to the dumpster. Some of it made it to my yard. And he's the guy I got the tent frame from that's now my little carport. So I now have 11 different types of sheet metal on my cabin. I'm not sure if that's something to brag about or not, but...
Now, while we're talking about Coach, this glider came from his backyard. and it's really cool, and it was in really bad shape. I had a lot of this front is no longer sheet metal, it's fiberglass because it was sitting in the dirt, rusting away. But we got some cushions ordered for it, and I love this thing. Thank you, Coach. And while we're talking about Coach, he had some granite slabs in his backyard, and I brought those home. I had to break them because I couldn't even pick them up. And I just kind of threw them on the ground here so that I can come and turn on the water pump and turn on the 12-volt stuff even on a rainy day without getting mud on my feet. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time on this. Actually, I spent very little time on this, but it's serving the purpose.
One more Coach item. I grabbed this pot from his backyard. It had 4 little random oak trees growing in it, and I transplanted them in the country. And in spite of having no rain this summer, hardly, they're all still alive. It's amazing.
I finally hooked up the little Rokes lights to this switch, and it's on a 3-way switch, so we can turn it off when somebody climbs up there to go to sleep. You don't have to come back down. Got these cool little reading lamps. You just touch it. It's like magic. Should have got those a long time ago, and I need some for home because I can't see squat. So I put up a ceiling fan in the middle, and it didn't do any good because we were either sitting down there or sitting here, and you couldn't feel it. So I bought another one, and now it's very good. Now when I bought the first one, it came with a little short pipe that it hangs from and a longer pipe. I decided to use the short pipe, and after keeping the longer one, moving it around for a few days, I threw it away. And when I bought the second one, it comes with a long pipe and not a short pipe. So I wonder if anybody will ever notice. But anyway, we bought these types of fans because my son is smart, and they're controlled by these little switches, which aren't totally mounted yet because this box is not deep enough. But you don't have to worry about losing the remote. Because if you have one with a remote and you have kids, grandkids, you're going to lose the remote, and then you're going to be kind of screwed because you're not going to be able to operate the fan. Added a much needed receptacle back here. It's on a 20 amp circuit, and keeps me from dragging a cord through the tiny house to use power tools outside. So when I installed the fan, I put a receptacle here, and one here, and one down there, and one down there, and I don't know if I'll ever need them, but they're there. So I'm glad for that.
We have a dripping bathtub faucet, which I have solved mainly just by over-tightening the thing until I feel like I'm going to break it. I can't let it drip because it lets the 12-volt pump run off and on and off and on and off and on. So anyway, I'm going to take this thing apart and see if I can't figure out what's going on. Changing the valve is a major deal. I'm going to have to pull all the sheet metal out and the plywood and everything. So I really don't want to do that if I don't have to.
So I drove way out of my way to get to a Home Depot thinking they would have the same brand of valve and I could just replace the bonnet. Well, the threads on the old one are not the same as the new one. So then I thought I could just replace the wedge because physically they're the same size, but the threads are not the same. If this one won't go on here. So either I gotta open up the wall and change the whole thing, or hopefully I can just polish this, lap this. I don't know what I have with me to do that, but maybe I can just get this smoother and maybe it'll work. I don't know. Kind of frustrating. Well, I lapped it down on a grinding disc, cut real easy. I got the surface shiny. Whether or not this will work, I'm not too confident because I don't know. You know, I got to get these angles just right to match what's in the wall. I don't know. Anyway, I took a little bit off, shined them up, and put it back together. If I have to, I can put the pliers on it and get it really tight. I think I can make it quit dripping until which time I feel like taking the wall apart, which may be never. I lost this battle. I got it tightened down with pliers so much, I'm scared it'll break if I tighten it anymore. So I guess the wall has to come apart. If I remember right, it's PEX tubing, so I'll have to grind all those clamps off and get some more clamps. I can reuse the fittings, and I have plenty of pipe. I think I have to take off this wall, and then this wall should come off okay. But I have plywood behind the metal, so I'll have to pull the plywood off. The more you own, the more you groan. Well, fix my drip, kinda, not really, but at least I can turn the water on now without the pump running all the time. I just took off the nozzle and put a valve, so even though it leaks past this valve a little bit, this valve stops it. So one day I'm gonna have to take this wall apart, but man, it's dry. It'd be a good job to do during a rainy week where I can't work outside, but today I'm working outside, so I got that solved. I feel like I'm back working on a boat where there was no standards. Anyway, this is a typical 12-volt water pump discharge. They used to all be an American brand, but now I'm sure they're Chinese. So it has a certain size. This is a typical PEX fitting, and they're just a little bit smaller, which means hoses that fit this don't fit that, and hoses that fit this don't fit that. So I'm going to take this fitting, I'm going to wrap it with a few layers of glass cloth and epoxy to try to swell it up to that size. And when I do that, I got this nice little scrap of hose that fits perfectly. So I can go from the Jabsco type fitting to that PEX reducer that I'm about to make, and to PEX size, which is what everything else is. Now 3 hours later, I went from having this loose fit to a very snug fit. I can't do it with one hand, but it'll go in there because I added that much epoxy and cloth to the outside. So hopefully it'll take care of that little drip. So outside, I've got a 1/2 inch, like a radiator hose that fits the pump discharge. And then this is where my little reducer deal is. So this fits the end of the coupling that has the fiberglass built up on it. And this fits the other end and goes to my tank. And I got a bucket under here so I can see if it's going to be dripping, because everything was a little wet. It's hard to tell. So I think I'm done with this. Oh, okay. By the way, put a filter in here. It's just a simple paper filter, but it's big. And I've got my hot water heater. I thought this would give me 30 more gallons of volume, because this is less than 250. That's huge. That's more than 10%. But it doesn't work that way, because when this tank gets low, the pump is going to quit pumping. So I'm never ever going to be able to use this 30 gallons. So, well, yeah, just thought I was getting something I didn't get, but that's okay. Everything's working well. And I haven't run out of water yet. So far, it got down to maybe a little bit below half a tank, and we got rain. And now it's full. So life is good. Now that we've got the leak fixed on the water pump, so our closet, put some shelves, trying to get my act together here. This is working out real well, and with the door closed, it does stay a few degrees warmer in here. So this is going to keep my pump from freezing, and the filter for that matter, this winter. That's the plan. I got a problem with my shower door. It keeps moving that way because it's a 4x4 that's holding up this corner. Keeps twisting, and when it twists, it pushes everything over. It's not going to be easy fix. I'm going to have to dismantle part of this corner. I can't go over. I can't go over anymore. I guess I could. Yeah, I can't go over on this side too well either, because it's pretty solid. I might can take off this 2x4 and put a 1x. I nailed the bejeebies out of it too. Oh well.
So my wife and I both have COVID, so I'm not sure what's going to happen next week, if anything. But anyway, for this video, thanks for watching.